Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm front of house manager for Guildford Shakespeare Company. I joined GSC in 2015 for King Lear at Holy Trinity Church, and I've been with them ever since. Macbeth was my 21st show for Guildford Shakespeare, and it was marvellous. I trained at Guildford School of Acting, and I was in the same year as Sarah, so we have known each other for years, which is rather lovely. We got back in touch whilst doing a scripted reading together, and the following year I took part in the Sonnet Walk as an artist, and despite being thoroughly rained on for most of it, I loved every minute. I was then brought back to be front of house manager for King Lear, and they've basically not been able to get rid of me since then. My role of front of house manager means I'm usually one of the first people that the GSC audience meet on arrival at one of our venues. I work with an amazing team of stewards who make my job an absolute joy. We are there to make sure that the audience get the most out of their visit to any GSC show. We run the on-site box office where we sell programmes and merchandise and tickets, and we also run the on-site bar. Basically, it's my job and my team's job to make sure that our audience get to where they need to be and give them any information about the site. As we are a site responsive company, we work in various different venues, both indoors and outdoors, and we are known for getting our audience to participate in promenade theatre. So it's the job of me and my team to keep them safe together and ideally travelling in the right direction. During Macbeth, I learned that our audience are so used to surprise promenades that they will basically follow us anywhere. One night, during the interval of Macbeth, we had a small electrical fault which involved a precautionary evacuation. So I walked up the aisle and asked the audience to follow me to the Trinity Centre, which was a short walk around the church. Everyone was very calm and compliant, and soon we were all assembled out of the cold to await further instruction. It wasn't until the fire crew arrived to check that all was well that I learned that most of the audience simply assumed that this was part of the show, and they were waiting to see if part 2 was going to take place in the Trinity Churchyard. You've got to remember that this was February, and not one person complained that we'd decided to take open air to its extreme. One of my favourite things about my job is seeing the audience reactions. I think my favourite was watching people clock that during the Merry Wives of Windsor, the cast were arriving on a train. Seeing that realisation ripple through the audience as the cast came round the corner was priceless. Total strangers would nudge each other and tell people to turn round and look, and for me that was really special. I'm also really lucky to have a job that involves many, many wonderful people. I'm naturally a people person, shocker, and I love getting to know our audiences. I love working with my wonderful team of stewards as they are a total joy, amazingly supportive and bonkers in all the right ways. I love the fact that I get to work with some of my best friends, and I love the wonderful humans that GSC draws into work with us. Site responsive theatre always throws up a lot of challenges, whether it's blistering sunshine or heavy rain or old buildings with strange acoustics or a circus tent in the middle of a field in October when you have to break out your glittery wellies. And with all this, I can't think of a better group of people to rise to those challenges with. Now, I'm supposed to come up with my favourite moments, but there are too many favourite moments for me to list. So I would say a few of them are watching my middle son, Luca, in Winter's Tale, which was amazing, although he now wants to be an actor when he grows up, when previously he wanted to be a very sensible computer programmer, so I hold GSC entirely responsible for that one. The misbehaviour behind the scenes is a constant source of amusement. Some of the movement sequences that I've seen to accompany on-stage music or on-stage action have been particularly memorable. You know who you are. And the lightning tree and subsequent dance-off in Merry Wives of Windsor was just far too much fun to be considered work. And once lockdown is over, I am looking forward to coming back to all of that because I miss it terribly.